What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's been a little bit, and as you can tell today, we have a Ford Fusion, a 2020 Ford Fusion. This is the SE model. It comes with the 1.5 liter turbocharged or EcoBoost motor, making 180 horsepower, about 180, 185 foot-pounds of torque. So a pretty little peppy engine. So as you can see, it is of course garnered in that, SE fashion, I guess you'd say. There's no fog lamps on this one. Kind of the budget Ford Fusion as I try to walk on this grass here. But overall, still good looking car. Decent for its segment, as you can see. Yeah, just an SE, not an SEL or anything like that, but it actually comes very well loaded with some options, which I was pretty surprised. When I got the car, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a, when I was told what I was gonna be reviewing, and I was like, this is gonna be like, base. Yeah, it just looks really good on the inside, and I'm pretty impressed with it. I've driven every single generation or model of the Fusion since it came out. My mom, back when I was younger, she had a 2007, then she got I think it was a 2011, and I test drove a 2013 or so when they kind of did this facelift, with a little bit more power now, and I think it was a 2-liter turbo motor at the time. So I've been around these and everything, so I was actually really looking forward to do one of these because, well, Ford, as we all know, is doing away with the car segment. So this is, I guess you kind of say, one of the last type of Fusions to look at. So let's go ahead and look at that motor. So yeah, as we come up, you just, right here on the driver's side, there's a latch right there. It's actually very easy to see, and you can just pop it up. Makes a nice big noise. It's done that a couple times. I've done that, and you're looking at the engine and all that good stuff of the 1.5 liter. Just a bunch of spaghetti going on in there, and yeah, I mean, it looks pretty big actually, but this little motor, turbos right down in there. Yeah, 180 horsepower, 180 foot-pounds of torque. Some of the bigger boys that review cars and stuff sit there and say that it's not the greatest power delivery, but I gotta tell you, for just commuting and getting around, it's plenty. It's like, if you're just looking for a car to get you A to B, get you pretty decent gas mileage, the 1.5, it'll get the job done. Yeah, it's not gonna win any races, but like I said, if you're looking for your, run-of-the-mill kind of car with some style, this is the car to get. Go ahead and take this off the camera, and we'll go ahead on the inside, and I'll give you guys an overview of the inside. Stickers are still on it because this is the dealer car, and as you can see, you're adorned with cloth interior, thank goodness, and a nice smell. Still got some stuff up here, but yeah, this car has just over 100, maybe just over 100 miles, not quite 100 miles yet. But yeah, the interior pieces, pretty good, soft to the touch here, nice and soft. I don't really care for this plastic stuff here, but I understand probably why they used it. More of a, I guess you would say, something that might hold up. But I've noticed that this stuff, and it could be the stuff they use to clean, you get marked up easily, obviously, with any type of black. Power windows, of course, and your controls for your mirrors. This also has, of course, blind spot, and it's very well loaded up, I think. Good things. But these are all power, automatic power up and down and everything. Got a little tweeter in each side on nose, and right here, of course, your standard Ford light controls, marker lights, driving lights, and of course auto. And then of course this increases and decreases your light up on your screens and stuff. Steering wheel controls, pretty standard. You got your cruise control settings. You got your left screen that is in the dash controls your right screen for the controls, and then you got your Bluetooth and volume controls and all that good stuff. Of course, you have your directionals and everything. And of course, this right here, that is lane keep assist, which is actually kind of cool. It's pretty neat when it works, and I wouldn't completely trust it. And then of course you have your wiper controls and stuff like that right there. You can see just a single gauge there for your miles per hour. We'll go ahead and move to the center console. Here you have this car has auto start and stop, meaning if you come to a stop and you're holding down the brake, the engine will shut off, and if you move your foot just a micro of, I don't even know, just very small, the engine will kick back on. You can go back off. Sport button, this of course is right here for, of course, sportier shifts. I was going to say that if you want to turn off the auto start stop, you can just push that and it'll turn it off, but it automatically shuts off when you put it in sport mode. Of course, you got your power parking brake, I should say, and this has, of course, a knob. You have, of course, you know, park, neutral, park, reverse, neutral, and drive, and then you push this down for low, and of course it tells me right now, hey, I'm in park. And then of course your center stack here, nothing too fancy. This is all your climate controls, dual climate control in here, and you know, I'm kind of old school when it comes to that kind of stuff. So what I remember with dual climate is you could only like set like a 5 to 10 degrees. This seems to go like, if you want be 90 degrees over here and 60 degrees on the driver's side, you can do that. At least it seems like that. A couple of cup holders. Of course, we have our standard face mask. And here's a nice little pocket. You can kind of either stick your wallet or even your cell phone in there. And then, of course, you have a nice big spot here that actually can hold a cell phone as well. 2 USB ports, and, you know, your kind of standard, as some people call it, lighter, but not really for lighters anymore. And then this, surprisingly bare. Let's move the renting papers out. Nothing in here, not even a hookup, which I was actually really surprised. I guess what on the top models, this is what would be there. I bet you if you like remove this, you have your maybe another USB port and stuff like that, maybe even a 120 volt thing. So that is the center console, and of course that is nice and soft, and yeah, it's just a very decent. We'll go ahead and move that actually back in here, and then you have your, of course, ta-da, and here we go. They actually left this in the car. So this is what it is. It says you average about 23 city, 34 highway. Currently I'm averaging about 18, and you can see the total MSRP on this car is that 25,695. So not a bad deal, not much of a bad deal at all. You can see it was method of transport was a rail, so this arrived here in the Charlotte area on a train. And yeah, you got all your little options there that this comes with and everything. So yeah, it is indeed a 2020 and 6-speed auto. Thank you for putting automatics, not CVTs, in your car's Ford. That could be a hot button issue, but I don't think too many people could disagree with me. I mean, you know, they do okay and everything, but let's go ahead and go over what you get here. Look at that, the screen's right up. Push button start, so all you gotta do is keep your key somewhere on you, and I'll go over that right now. Actually, the key fob is very big. It's a very big key fob. This car does have, of course, auto start. Comes with it. This does not have it, so we're missing a button here. But you can see you got your unlock, lock 2 times for the trunk, and your panic. And then if you push, push this in. I'm sorry, my camera angle's bad. You get the key, which you can insert on the door on the outside underneath. So in case like everything dies on you, you can do that. And like I said, it's just underneath the door handle on the outside. So let's start it up. And you see those lights there? I noticed the other day that I was coming up on a car kind of quick, and that actually flashed up there. They beep, 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 and they flashed, scared the crap out of me. So I think that might also deal with the lane keep assist. See, I pushed the lane keep assist, and right there on the screen, you see it. These on either side of the car will light up green when it detects, you know, the lines. And when you go left or right towards them and you get kind of over them, it'll actually the steering wheel. So if I'm going to the left and the car notices that I'm going over the line, it'll start to kind of pull me back that way. I don't completely trust it, but it did pull me back all the way over into my lane when I did it on a safe stretch of road. But yeah, that's something you don't want to have to rely on, but it's nice to have. I haven't really used it, but yeah, if you just want to turn it off, you just flick it in and it goes away. Yeah, looking at this, 99.1 miles. So like I said, this is the button that controls the screen here. As you can see, if I down click it, there goes to the tire pressure and it'll give me fuel. I click it down again, I can get miles per hour in digital form or kilometers just by clicking the OK button. And then it tells me my distance to empty. I got this car with a full tank and I've driven it almost 100 miles. And when I first got into it, it said I had about 401 miles until empty. Now I only have 240 free, and this is over a week's time, and I'm still just under, still over half a tank. I don't know if this is one of those tanks that as soon as you get below half a tank, it starts to drop a little bit faster based on how the tank is, but it seems to be doing really good on gas considering it's a brand new car. And then I push it again, it brings up the tachometer and the fuel, and I push that one more time, and then we're back to tach, fuel, and coolant temp. So if I want to go out, this is where you get the rest of your stuff. We were in display mode. Of course, you have your trips. It tells you your trip info, obviously. You click it down. Trip 1 and 2 are the same because I haven't reset them. 6 hours and almost 7 hours. So we've done some idling in this car. Not an extreme amount, but just some. Then you got your fuel economies. It says engine on, normal operation. So then you look at it, yep, averaging 18.2 over the course of this fuel. And you can click it down again, auto stop start. And yeah, let's go ahead. I can hit that, boop. And then it says auto start stop, deactivate switch. So deactivated, so that is off. So that'll, obviously fuel economy. Then you have your driver's assist, where you can turn on traction control, blind spot, cross traffic, driver alert, rain keep system. You can turn on the intensity. I have it on normal, so if I had it on low, it would give me a little bit more relay to be an idiot driver, I guess. And on high, it'll alert me a lot quicker. Just gonna leave that there. Let's see what that mode was. What does mode do? You can have it on both or one or the other. So it can alert you that you're drifting, or it can alert you that you're drifting and then it can aid you, or you can have it both, meaning it'll steer you back in. So that's pretty neat. And then pre-collision, active braking. This will basically, like I said, with those lights that lit up there on the dash, if it says, hey, you're gonna have an accident, I guess it will actually stop for you. I'm not going to even come close to attempting that. And then rear park aid is, of course, when you're backing up and you got your camera on, and it will tell you, hey bro, there's something here, it'll beep at you. And then of course you have settings here. You can set up your display, temperature gauges and stuff like that, distance, that kind of thing. It's pretty cool, Celsius and whatnot. So that is the left side. And then of course in the middle is, like I said, just a speedometer. And then the right side, you don't have too many options here. It gives you your compass. You back out of that, you got your phone, it tells you your phone calls, and of course your entertainment. And yeah, that's just what that's on right now. So that is the infotainment setup, or entertainment. This kind of stuff I actually really like in a car. I love having this kind of stuff. It's just really neat. I'm glad that they do have that tachometer there, because I really like to have a tach. It's just, I think everything should always have a tach. So to the center console, where I think this is like what, a 4 by something screen, maybe even bigger than that. I think it's actually way bigger than that. You have, of course, you got your sources. This actually is pretty quick in response to your touches. This will take you to your climates. It does take a minute for some of these to pop up. But like I said, you got dual zone, so I'm going to use this button down here. But if I want to increase one side, and I know this ain't new to a lot of people, but to me it's like, wow, you can actually go very high, where when I first knew dual climate, you only had a few degrees of separation, so to speak. But yeah, everything's pretty quick to your touch. AC, pretty decent. The only thing I hate is the amount of noise it makes when it first comes on and kicks in there. But yeah, I don't know if you can hear that on my mic, but there's just a and then it goes away. A lot of them do it. Of course, then you have your phone. You can do text messages and stuff like that. You know, apps. You can find mobile apps. I'm guessing you can probably download probably like Pandora or stuff. I'm not too sure. So I'm not going to sit there and say, yeah, that is. But, you know, you got all your stuff here. General information that you can look at. You know, Wi-Fi, auto updates. You know, all that good stuff. You can change the display. You know, right now, that's pretty neat. Bloop, come back to me. But yeah, I turned this down to the darker screen because you can see in the background, you can just kind of change everything. They have a blue screen. I'm actually in the night, and then the daytime they have these, which I just think is just no, keep it on night. And I'm actually kind of upset that now I'm just finding out that it does this neat little stuff in the back. So that is the infotainment setup. So it's pretty cool, pretty nifty little thing there, you know. And like I said, it responds very well. And yeah, it's just a nice car. I mean, you get a lot for your money. And the back seat's nice and roomy. We will get back there. But yeah, like where I said where those keys were, that's where you'll insert that little key if you run out. You still have the pad here, the touch pad. Still something I think is very cool and that a lot of cars should have. And then the back seat, same. I actually haven't been back here, but my seat is right where I would be sitting, so a good bit of room. And I also feel like I'm sitting back too far in the driver's seat. And then of course it's got a rear air, and then you have your own little port there. I'm surprised there's not a USB back here, but probably maybe the other ones. Center console, you get a couple cup holders, and it's pretty basic back here. But overall, I mean, the seat's a little bit stiffer in the back than up front, but pretty decent size. And then of course we have the trunk, which I'll have to pop, but these seats do fold down, I'm almost positive. I'm surprised that's in there. It looks like there's a little thing there to actually kind of hide. But yeah, the seats will fold down. Boom, look at that, pretty cool, pretty neat. So let's go ahead and pop the trunk and get a look at this. If I remember correctly, these trunks are nice and big, and indeed, like I said, leftovers from, I think when they gave me this car, they just literally pulled it off the rot, took off some stickers and said, okay, there you go, bud. And so yeah, I don't know what this is. That looks like that looks like a fuel filler. Like, I guess if you have to use if you maybe break down, or maybe even that's how you fill up some, I don't know. Obviously it's a funnel for something. But yeah, a big trunk. To me, that's a big trunk. And yeah, so there's your rear. And one thing I was always interested in was the lights on these. So there we go, turn the lights on. You know, these started coming out a good while ago, but as you see on this model, and I don't know if it's been the previous models or not, but this doesn't go all the way around. I'm surprised. On some of them they always did, but I always thought they kind of looked a little, I don't know, ugly on the older ones when they did do the complete circle. But yeah, she's a little bit dirty. As I said, I've been driving it a week, and you know, been enjoying its stay with me. And you can tell that they don't have the front end, the light bars on the front that a lot of cars do. I don't know if that's all models are just done, or if it's just because this is, well, the SC, which I guess was, more of the, how do you say, lower model. And my apologies, I'm just trying to get this stand up. All right, so now driving the Ford Fusion, you just push down on the brake button, get that back in there. We got sport, we'll put sport on. Go ahead and turn it around and take it for a little drive. And the rotary dial not hard to get used to. Of course, we got the backup camera. I can show you that when I get back home, but or get to a spot. But yeah, your typical backup camera. It's got your little car in there that kind of gives you an idea of what's around your car and starts beeping when you get close to something. But what you'll notice about this car when you get into it is being brand new, and the way most cars are set up today is they're meant to try to handle pretty decently. So it's not harsh, but it's not a cushy ride, which I wouldn't mind having a little bit more of a cushion with a car like this, because I get one of these, you know, like I said, 1.5, not a lot of power, but I think it's very adequate. Very, very adequate. Like, you know, like I said, there are some places that sit there and talk about how it's lacking, you know, peppiness, and as soon as it takes forever for the power to come on, and then it, you know, quickly falls off, and so it's like, it's basically a mid runner. As soon as you get into the mid RPMs, you're kind of getting the boost, and then as soon as you get close to maybe 5,000 RPMs, which I actually haven't really gotten to in this, being it's brand new, it kind of falls off. But for me, I think it pulls perfectly in those arenas. You know, when you're driving around like I do, I drive around in mostly like 35 zones, and you know, got on the highway a couple times. It gets up to speed perfectly fine. You know, perfect A to B driver. You know, it's not like, you know, oh, I wish it had a faster, you know, 0 to 60 or whatever, which I'm not quite sure of myself of what it is. But for this type of car, I mean, especially for me who likes speed, likes power and everything, it's fine. You know, I get up to the speed limits perfectly normal, and, you know, not going too slow. So, like, but basically what I'm saying is you're not lacking power. You know, it's going to be able to get out of its own way as long as you know how to drive it. You know, as long as you know that it's going to take a couple seconds, not a couple seconds, but a good, you know, second for it to get on. You can't, like, try to make a break in traffic and think you're going to have instantaneous power, you know, which is kind of almost any car, unless it's like an electric, you know, Tesla or something. But yeah, I mean, for power, I think this is just the right amount, perfect amount, you know, for being just a, you know, going to work, you know, taking the kids to school, whatever you do, going for groceries, that type of thing. You know, pretty much what everybody does with their cars. And I think, you know, in the class that it's in, obviously with the Camry Accord, you know, obviously they might, and for a lot of people, will finish ahead of this car. You know, that'll be their choice to go to. But me, I would never not look at the Ford Fusion if I was like, okay, I need a four-door sedan. You know, the Ford Fusion is like right at the top of my list. And like I said, it's not because I have a bias towards Ford or anything. You know, I grew up, my parents are mainly Ford people, but I've always driven the odder cars since I've been driving. You know, I've had Chevys, I've had Mitsubishis, I've had Toyota, I've had a Ford or two, you know, things like that. I'm trying to remember. I've had a lot of cars. This would definitely be, you know, one of them that I would be interested in getting if I was to want one of these. Obviously, I would prefer like the 2-liter or the 2.5, which are the other engine options in the lineup for the Fusion. I would probably automatically skip over this, but for value and everything, the 1.5 seats seems perfectly fine and capable. I mean, you put this motor in the Fiat 500 I had, which was a 1.4. This has 20 more horsepower and 20 more foot-pounds of torque. You know, that would make a lot of difference in that car. So, but this car, of course, weighs a considerable bit more than a Fiat 500 Abarth. You know, this car is probably, I'd say, around 35 and a half. I'm not sure, because I looked at the things and it said anywhere from 34,000 to 3,400 to 3,700 pounds. This, like I said, depending on the model. Yeah, those cars, obviously, with, you know, the options and stuff, this car is kind of in the new norm of weight. And yeah, there we go. It got up to speed pretty decently there, doing 40 miles an hour within, I don't know, 5 seconds. But yeah, it handles, it rides good. It's relatively quiet. It's not the most quietest thing on the road, but you know, you do feel like you're inside a substantial car, you know, as far as being away from the outside. And yeah, this is just a good car. I really enjoy it, and I'm gonna a little piece of me is gonna miss it a little bit when I give it back to the dealer. You know, just your run-of-the-mill car. I think, you know, and a lot of tests will finish third, fourth place along with the other cars in its class, but you know, it's fine. You know, like I said, this would be one of the first type of, if I was looking for a sedan, you know, for either a second car or, you know, for somebody, you know, like the significant other or something, you know, this would be one of the cars I'd be like, okay, you know, obviously, like I said, you know, with the 2.0 or at least a 2.5, and yeah, I mean, what more can you say about it? I think it's just a good car. I'd give it a solid 7.5 out of 10 if I was gonna rate it overall. So here we go. Put the lane assist on, and you can see it kind of says I have it, and then it's slowly bringing me back over, slowly bringing me back over. I know I didn't get a good shot of that, but I didn't, like I said, I'm trying to actually really pay attention here while driving. But yeah, the lane keep assist, it does work most of the time. And we'll give it a little bit of a, it's got just the right amount of power. Like, not super quick, not, you know, anything super special, but it'll get you up there and going. And you can see that the thing is showing that it's catching the road after this car goes by. I'll drift it over, and you can see it's putting me back over on my side. So it works pretty decently, but like I said, definitely don't want it to be your only means of transport. You know, obviously you're not gonna be like, oh, I can just take my hands off the wheel and la 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 la. So the backup camera, super easy, tells you where your car is going, all that good stuff. And then we back in. I'm actually trying to look off, but and it'll tell me as we get up on this Escort here. So, yep, there we go. And then put the brake on. So that is the 200. That is the 2020 Ford Fusion. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button. Let me know what you think. And like I said, I didn't really want to make this complete, you know, car related, like, you know, review related type videos a lot, but you know, because of quarantine, that kind of thing going on, you know, there's not really a whole lot of other stuff to get into. But you know, we'll be releasing content periodically on this channel. I was supposed to have an update on the 4Runner video and why it was titled like it was, because I was going to redo that video and actually, you know, kind of, you know, explain that, but just situation popped up that I can't no longer do that. So, which for the good or the bad. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and until the next one, take care. Peace.